Okay, welcome everyone to the Elite Lych On Cabin. So this video took a little bit longer. That's why I'm posting it the next day after the boss came out. And this thing took a lot of optimization to get it to a functioning, some sort of a guide, I would say. Although I wouldn't recommend you guys do this without using a cash drop or an insta monkey, because this is just way too obnoxious. Although, you know, the further you go, obviously it's the same thing with all the runs, right? The further you go, the easier it gets. But the thing is, we have to be using so many things, you know, so many small things in the early game, so many optimizations in places that, you know, we've never done before, and things that we've never cared in our previous runs for, that, you know, it's just way too obnoxious. So if you want to have like an easier time, and if you want to beat it without too much of a hassle, then I really recommend you just use a cash drop and just, you know, be on your way and beat it normally. So what we have here is a very interesting map. So even though the cabin is a beginner map, right? So the maps are, you know, they're decided if they're a beginner, advanced, or an intermediate, or an expert map based on their length mainly, right? And that does not really you know, include farming space. And so this map is not really the best map for farming, although if you really push things, you can get 9 farms into the Monkeyopolis. I got 8 in this run, but the thing is, the problem that we have with this one is getting to the Monkeyopolis, because once we've gotten to the Monkeyopolis, it's pretty much game over, right? But the thing is, we need to get to it. So we need to optimize in a lot of different ways. So first off, the hero is solo, we don't have Benji, and we're also playing on hard mode. And you would think that these things will not be that much of an issue, but they actually are. In fact, they're the biggest issue along with the map, because this map, you know, even though it's a beginner map, it's a very specific beginner map, which you have to defend 2 places at once. You have to defend the top left side and then the bottom right side, and that is what makes it kind of special. So, you know, right out of the get-go, we're just spending all of our money on 200 farms. Very efficient farms. This is the way to go, and we're placing them around this little bottom part of the lake. That's very important. So look at what's going to be happening now. We need to save up as much money as possible, and we need to optimize the early game as much as possible. So that means that we're not going to be getting lead popping power. So the way we're going to be popping lead balloons is 28. As soon as they appear, you use Solo's ability. You wait 29, and then when they appear on 30, you use the ability again. As soon as you have it off cooldown, you're going to have 4 lead balloons be on their way, and then the ability is going to come again off cooldown, and that's how you beat it. You're going to leak some lives, but that's totally fine. And so what we did here is we saved ourselves an alchemist, right? Because you would usually, you know, get an alchemist to pop these lead balloons, right? But we saved ourselves $600, and that is going to be... That's going to be very useful. That's going to go a very long way. So these farms are going to 203. And so if you guys have read the patch notes, you might know that these bottom path farms have the banana salvage upgrade now. Increase the sellback rate, which means that they sell for more. And that's very important, because we're going to be selling these farms to get some defenses up. And it's these types of small things that I'm talking about that we need to take care of, because usually you don't care about stuff like these, but in this one we actually do. And we're going to combine that sellback with the favorite trades, which again increases the amount of money that you sell a tower for. So basically we're losing minimal amounts of money when we're selling. I think it's like over 95%. I'm actually not going to say the number because I don't know the exact number, but we're basically saving a lot of money on these farms when we're going to be selling them. So this is very important, because you know, we want to be very efficient. This is kind of the whole point with this, and this is why this is the hardest boss that we've had. So the placement of that ninja is very specific, because you want to have it in the range of the favorite trade, so that we sell it for more money again later on. And then we're selling 1 farm, 203. We're gonna get the 104 ninja, and then we're gonna buy a heli. So in fact, this is not the winning run. This is a run that I lost. So I'm gonna be right back, and I'm gonna load up that one. Okay, so doing the same thing, I'm gonna sell one of the 203 farms, and I'm gonna wait a little bit for them to make a little bit of money, around 40, just, you know, trying to squeeze everything out of them, because the money really gets tight. And then getting the ninja to 104, and then straight into a Moab Shove heli on the spot where the farm was, because it's going to be under the favorite trades, and that's very important that we want to have it under the favorite trades, because it's going to increase its sellback rate later on. So this is going to be a 013 heli. The idea is to hold these Moab class balloons into the range of the sticky bombs. We did this last week. This is a good way of doing this. I guess not ideal, but it is what it is. And then I sold 1 more 203 farm for another sticky bomb here next to the heli. And again, this guy is also in range of the of the favorite trades boat, right, which is gonna again increase its sellback rate. So doing this thing, very simple. It's gonna get close. I'm just gonna tell you guys, it's gonna get close. You might even fail the first few times that you're doing this, but it is what it is. It's a very cheap and a very efficient way of doing this without breaking your economy. I tried doing the tax zone, and you can easily afford the tax zone, but you're gonna just wreck your economy. You can do it with the perma spike, but again, you're just destroying your economy like that. So this is a very nice way of popping these guys with a little bit of, you know, helping hand with the Moab shop, which is gonna push back these balloons, and then, you know, keeping your economy alive, which is the most important thing. So what we're going to do now is we are going to upgrade one of these guys to banana research facility. So I'm going to sell the Moab shop. I'm going to get one banana research facility. And then what I recommend you guys do is always after the round on which the boss dies ends, you go to the main menu and you load up the game again, which is going to pause the game. And this is going to give us time to think and to upgrade a lot of our towers, which means that, you know, if the rounds are not basically going through, then you are essentially not losing cash if you upgrade your farms faster. So you want to be very efficient with these things, and that's basically it. So I'm going to place a farm just to mark its place here, and then I'm going to get a village. This is going to be a 002 village, so a discount village, which is later going to be the Monkeyopolis. So the placements are not ideal. I could have had one more farm, and I really pushed it for 8 farms on the Monkeyopolis. You guys are going to see later on. I lost a lot of money. You guys are not going to do that, so that's one of the mistakes that I did. But anyways, doing the 002 farm, going for another banana research facility, and this is the most important thing, right, that we kept the economy alive, and that's what allows us to basically do this. If we were to go for any other way, you know, of defending this, then the economy would have been in shambles, and the run is basically over regardless of what you guys are doing later on. So I got an alchemist. I got a 3-0 alchemist for Soda. Soda is amazing, and basically we are you know, keeping ourselves alive with only the 0-4 boat, and then I'm gonna get a 203 sub, and then there's Soda. So Soda, very good hero, amazing hero, but you also need to, you know, you need to juggle between her abilities, and this goes on for later on, right? We don't have the level 10 ability now, but we're gonna have it later on, and this is what you need to do. It's not hard by any means, but it is what it is. So getting 204 central markets, the reason why I want to get central markets instead of these banana research facilities is because I want to sell them. We're going to sell one of these guys, and they have, as I mentioned, increased sellback rate, and under the favorite trades, it's a very efficient thing to do. Again, we're squeezing everything out, so that is it. So this is actually not the winning run again, so I'm going to load that one up, and I'm going to see you guys in a second. Okay, so here we go. I got the 042 mad, well, not the mad in this case, it's just a normal Darkling arm, but we're getting the 042 because this thing has a lot of pierce, and we need the pierce because the pierce is actually better versus normal balloons. And then when you reach about $40,000, that's when you sell, because the Banana Central is going to sell for about 21,000, I think it was, and we're going to also ditch the sub because we don't need it. And that is going to be it. And I also have the Alchemist up top. I'm gonna, yeah, I remember to sell it. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, I even kept the sub. Okay, so I sold the Alchemist and a Banana Central for the map. So there we go. Once you get the map, this is very simple. I also got a 402 Boomerang because of round 63. We are lacking a lot of DPS, and I also moved the car, which, if you guys don't know, you can click on it, you can spend $500, and you're gonna remove it basically. So we want to remove it because these projectiles from the mat are gonna get stopped by the car. So you can do all of these things a little bit earlier. You can maybe sell another farm if you wanted to, but I really don't recommend because the economy is very important in this thing. And so there we go. We beat tier 2, and after the round ends, again, you hit home, and you know the drill. You reload again, and then you have time to think, and we're not wasting money. So we're selling the mat. Let me see what I sell. I sell the Boomerang. And yeah, just getting the economy back up, getting a lot of banana research facilities. I could have placed these farms and these towers a lot better so that I could fit 9 into the Monkeyopolis. I only got 8, which is totally fine. And I kind of, you know, spent a lot of money on this thing. This was a badly positioned ice tower, by the way, because if you have it more towards the top, is going to allow you to have 2 farms on that lake instead of 1. So doing this, again, I'm going to sell it later on. I'm just narrating what's going to happen in a second. Getting the Monkey Town and the Monkey City upgrade, which is a very important upgrade. It's going to buff all of the money that's being produced from all of our towers. And again, we're into the 60s, and we're defending only with Soda and a 420 Alchemist, and then this guy, which is a 024 Buccaneer. and these ice towers. So I really look at this. I'm trying to fit the ice tower. It's really not working. Or sorry, the banana farm. It's really not working. So I'm actually gonna sell the one on the right, and I'm gonna sell the ice, and I'm gonna replace the ice again. And as you guys saw, you know, if anything's leaking, you have to be ready with those abilities, because we're trying to save up money. Although at this point we're kind of fine with the economy, so it's totally fine. But again, so 2 banana research facilities, that is for a total of 7 currently. I'm gonna have the one on the right, which is the central market. I'm gonna sell that one for another one, so that's gonna be 8 BRFs, and then we're gonna go for the Monkeyopolis. So Sala, the only thing defending right now, but it's around 69 and 70, so pretty much easier rounds there, so not much to be worried about. Getting the NG, overclocking one of these farms that is next to the Monkey City, which is going to be producing even more money. So just thinking about the smallest details, right? Everything that we can to get a little bit more money, it's very useful. So getting the Monkeyopolis, and there we go. So next up, how do we defend this, and what do we do for tier 3? And tier 3 was very interesting when I played this yesterday. I tried a lot of different things, but I feel like you know, I thought if I was making a guide, I would wanna, you know, do it in a very simple way, and that is with a Paragon. So we actually got a Paragon. It was a degree 1 Dart Paragon. It's the cheapest one, the easiest one to make, and it does the job very nicely. I'm gonna be honest. So how do you defend this thing? Well, first off, I got a Crossbow Master on one of these ice platforms. This guy is basically all we need, along with Solder, to defend, and I would kind of got him to get some pops going. Turns out that was maybe not the best idea. You know, I maybe should have gotten something cheaper and then upgraded the banana central first, and then gotten this guy, because he's gonna be degree 1 anyways. So maybe that was not the play. Maybe you guys could do that. Also, you know, if you're following this, maybe you want to get a Monkey City village before upgrading to the Monkeyopolis, so that you get more money out of it. See, these are some small things that I could have done, but I didn't do, right? So if you guys are following this, you can improve on this for sure. So getting favorite traits, we want the sellback. Again, this thing is becoming the meta. The sellback thing is just the meta. It is what it is. It's the efficient way of playing, right? But you know, it's something that we have to do on this map, because this is probably the hardest boss that we've had so far, the hardest Elite Lich, right? So getting the favorite trades, getting a 0-4 central market, and overclocking the 5th tier. And so what we need is about, I think, $250,000 if I'm not mistaken. For the Dark Paragon, it's 350, but we are going to be selling a lot of our towers for it. So we're gonna sell the Alchemist later on when we have the money. So just keep it playing for a while. I'm keeping the Alchemist. I'm keeping the Overclock going, even though he heals, because we're not actually trying to take him down right now. And yeah, that is going to be it. So I'm gonna be back with the winning run, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so here we go. Keeping the Alchemist, keeping the Overclock, and I'm actually overclocking, as I mentioned, the Banana Central. I really don't care if this guy heals or steals the buff after a few seconds. We want to get a little bit of money in, and if you guys have been farming better than me, which I think you will, if you get, for example, the Monkey City, you get a little bit greedier, you know, during the mid game, you get a little bit more farms up, a little bit more BRFs, then you're gonna have a lot more money now. So selling all of these guys, selling the NG, selling basically everything that I don't need to get a Paragon. This is a degree 1 Paragon, but that's totally fine. So I got a 401 Ice Tower, and if you guys don't know, these things actually work on Moab class Bloons, and they amplify the damage. They give it +1 DPS, which is very important. It's a very cheap tower, and it does basically the same thing which the Glue Storm does, but it's a very cheap one. So getting a 401 and then getting a 410 here towards the end, it's gonna get close, but if you buy the Paragon earlier, obviously it's not gonna get as close. I really pushed this one to the limits, and there you go. That's how you defeat it. So it's not even close with the DPS, but well, it's actually close with the DPS, but if you get it earlier, then you're not gonna have an issue. So doing the same thing, you know, doing a save file, selling the Paragon. We don't need the Paragon anymore, and at this point, you can say that it's pretty much game over. So we've got everything that we wanted to accomplish. We beat the first 3 tiers, which were, you know, obviously the more difficult ones. Well, the second one isn't that much more difficult, right? It's just the math, and you aim it at it, and it's totally fine. But I guess tier 1 and tier 3 are kind of, you know, I guess you can improve on the tier 3, right, if you farm better than me. But then again, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about this thing, because it's hard on one hand, but then if you do these small little optimizations, right, like selling things under the favorite trades, you know, getting a little bit more greedier in the mid game, then you're gonna have a lot more money in the next, you know, 5 or 10 rounds, or at least more than I had in this run. So at this point, I'm just placing some random things to farm. I'm getting the trade empire, I'm getting some of these favorite trades. I didn't get a lot of them, could have had more, but at this point, you know, we know that we won, so at this point it doesn't really matter. I got the Wall Street, I got the Banana Central, I got a couple of 024s which are there to make a little bit of lives for us, because we're gonna need the lives later on. And at this point I'm just spamming Dart Monkey, so 240 darts for the Dart Paragon. So this is not really a fun thing to watch, so I'm gonna see you guys when I make the Dart Paragon and for the next year. So round 97 is when I got my Dart Paragon. It's a degree 42. Very easy to make a degree over 40, especially in the dark one, right? But you know, you have to be careful. Make sure it's over 40, very important, because these damage jumps are just insane. And it's going right in the middle on the ice. And that's basically it. So that's all we need for the tier 4. This thing is going to clean it up by itself, but something very important is happening now, which I need you guys to be careful with, and that is that we're not liking damage, but the thing is, with each skull of the tier 4, he's gonna start summoning DDTs like this. You see these guys? Okay, so those guys are, first off, a lot more stronger than the normal DDTs, and they're a lot more faster. So what we do is we are activating the Bloons Sabo abilities, which we're buying on purpose. So we're getting ready for the Ninja Paragon, and we're also spamming Shinobi Ninjas, which are going to help the ninjas get more pops, right? But at the same time, we're also having the Bloons Sabo abilities, right? So use these Sabo abilities after each skull pops, very important. The damage is not an issue. This is a degree 41 Dart Paragon. This thing is not even close, but make sure to be using the Sabo abilities after each skull, so that, you know, these DDTs don't leak, because you can easily lose on this. So there you go, that is tier 4, very easy. We have the money, we have the economy, $500,000, our degree 40 Paragon, and everything is going fine. So just doing again another save file as we usually do, and as I recommend you guys do, trying to fit the Paragon. The Ninja Paragon is gonna go right here on the ice, and the Boomer Paragon is gonna go there as well. And at this point, I'm just spamming these. Ninjas. So this is again not really fun to watch. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Okay, so the last push, degree of the Ninja is 40. I spammed a lot of boomerangs, and at this point, just getting the Boomer Paragon, degree 33. That's totally fine. And now we're getting these DPS amplifiers. So getting the Chinook so we can move these guys around. I got a village and a 502 sniper, which goes on first. I got the Glue Storm, and then I'm getting 410 ice towers. And did I mention this? But I think that the Super Brittle and the Embrittlement, they stack. The debuffs, I think they stack. So I just spammed a lot of these guys throughout the map, and that is basically what is happening. We're going to be using the Glue Storm ability, and then we're going to move the Super Brittle with the Chinook. So that's basically everything we do. There are no abilities, nothing like that. These Paragons are going to destroy the boss, and it's going kind of fast. And the thing that's actually stalling a little bit is the Boomer Paragon, as you guys can see right here, which is you know, throwing the Moab domination thing, which is kind of pushing them back. And so because these green balloons that this guy summons, they're not dying on time, that's why he's moving so far towards you know, towards the end and on the track. So what I did to fix that was I got a Bloon Master Alchemist right there at the top, and I also got a 5th tier engineer. So this is a 205 engine, which is going to, you know, immediately get rid of these balloons that this guy summons. And that's basically it. That's how we beat this week's boss. And it was fun, but also it was very frustrating to beat, because this is not something that we're used to do. We usually, you know, I guess this is kind of a test for us as well, you know, how far we can push this. No Benji, hard mode, and, you know, just be as efficient as possible, trying to use these small little things in the early game to our advantage. Like, for example, the banana salvage, which makes us sell the farms for more, and then selling under our favorite trades, and then, you know, getting back so that we keep the economy going. These small little things in the early game that make this whole thing possible, because it's very important. If you mess up the early game, you guys already know that the late game is going to be done. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching it, and I will see you in the next one.